Well, we didn't expect much. We weren't too disappointed. Liverpool match review. Welcome back to another video on the channel, Newcastle fans. If you are new to Black and White Banter, make sure you drop down, give us a like, give us a subscribe, and get us on Facebook and Instagram as well. We post every day on there, never serious, always Newcastle United. So it's the day after the game, the day before. Coming a little bit late with my match review. As soon as the game finished, I've been travelling all weekend, hence why my verdict on the match is coming from the car as we speak. We didn't really expect much going into the game yesterday. We didn't really get very much, so I think we've all come out pretty pleased with what we saw. It was a game of very few chances. I think even by Liverpool standards, they created very, very little. One of the best teams in the world. This is one of the teams we're playing that I think is one of the best teams I've seen in my lifetime. And I know I'm not as old as some Newcastle fans out there maybe watching this video, but that is literally, this Jurgen Klopp Liverpool team is fantastic to watch. And we restricted them. They weren't really at the races, and I think that was down to us being quite gritty. I think we came out the traps like a bull in a china shop. We were all over them like a rash. We had the high press, and they were probably a little bit surprised by that. I think Jurgen Klopp was maybe a little bit surprised by that. And then as soon as that goal went in, I think that changed our mentality in the match a little bit. We backed off a little bit. I think players felt a little bit scared because they knew who we were playing. And the game didn't, I'm not going to say it fizzled out, but from the point we went 1-0 down, we created very, very little. I think Bruno had a shot in the second half from the edge of the box. That was about it. We didn't really have any quality, and I think if we ever needed to find out where we were on this amazing run we've been on under Eddie Howe in comparison to the top teams in the league, I think it maybe showed today. I think St. Maximin on the left-hand side did not have one of his better days. But again, you are talking about a player going up against one of the best teams in the world, and we can't really forget that. But he didn't. His distribution, his retention of the ball wasn't great. And then on the opposite side, I think Almiron, especially in the second half, he's full of running. I think that's why he was important in yesterday's game, his defensive duties. But he forgot what offside was, I think, in the second half. He was offside a hell of a lot. And we just lacked that quality. I think Bruno was probably my standout midfielder, just because of that extra bit of quality he has. He was very good in tight spaces, especially in the first half. And I know there was a lot of controversy about their goal. Was Shah injured by Milner? I, at the time, screaming in the stadium, thought that it was, as everyone did watching the game in real time in the match. I spoke to my friends and I've seen the replays after it. You know, it wasn't a foul. I think Milner wins the ball first quite fairly, and then there's a bit of a follow through, so there was nothing wrong with Liverpool's goal. But the only thing for me, if I was nitpicking in yesterday's match, I was a little bit disappointed with, as I thought the way we set up with Joe Linton playing further forward, trying to win those aerial battles when the ball was lumped forward from the back, meant that Matt Targett at left back had very little backup defensive support, and we were caught on Liverpool's right hand side and our left a lot of times. And that was kind of where the goal in the first half came from. And I just thought, I felt sorry for Matt Targett yesterday, who for me was actually my man of the match. I don't think he was massively at fault for their goal. I think he stood up really well to their front three in the first half. When Mo Salah came on in the second half, I think he got outran once when Mo Salah went clean through. But generally, again, sound as a pound. He really, really was. And I think, you know, Fabian Schär went off in the second half. That didn't really help us defensively. And when Mo Salah came on, they created more chances. But hey, like I said at the start of the video, we didn't expect much. We didn't get much. I think our season now is starting to fizzle out. We've got 3 games left. Arsenal, Man City next, Arsenal, then Burnley. We can have a say in Burnley staying up or going down. We can have a say in Man City winning the title or finishing second. That's where the focus is maybe going to be. We can play with a bit of freedom. I wouldn't be surprised if Eddie Howe rings a few changes, gives a few players an extra bit of a run out and maybe assess them and find out a bit more about them. But the atmosphere was cracking yesterday. I went for a few pints after the match before I set back off on my travels. There's a feel-good feel in the air, and we all start to look to the summer a little bit now and see where this football club can go. And if you saw the celebrations of the Liverpool players at the end of the game, that tells you everything about where we've come as a football club, because they were celebrating because I think they knew that yesterday's match was one of their hardest games in their title running. Van Dijk was celebrating. Andy Robertson, don't like the guy, was celebrating like hell as well. The Liverpool players were celebrating like they were one step closer to putting that pressure on Man City to win that title, and that shows how much of a hard challenge they knew coming into yesterday's game was going to be. So yeah, onwards and upwards from here. I'm not too down on that one. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my bank holiday weekend and look forward to Man City. Who knows what we could do against City. Leeds caused them loads of problems last night, and I've got no doubt if we set about our business and set our stalls up right that we can do exactly the same next Sunday in front of the Sky cameras again. And I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully I'm going to get a tick and be down there. So onwards and upwards, and let's keep looking to the future under this new ownership and this new manager under Eddie Howe, because things can certainly only get better from here. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Toon fans. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I'll touch down for another one in the middle of the week. However, lads.